I want to talk about YouTube trends, what they are, where it leads, and what it means to us as a society. And by the end of this video, I hope to explain everything you need to know to become aware of this phenomenon and to plan for it before we go the way of the dinosaurs. There's been a big change in our economy, and we're still facing it. We're still going through it. And this big change is how we shop. The marketplace has changed. The marketplace was, of course, the marketplace when we met in small civilizations at crossroads. And it became stores, and then it became malls, downtowns, and then malls. And now it's online shopping. And online shopping has killed many businesses. And the same thing is happening to the church. We just have to be very careful. The trends that are happening now on YouTube are predictable, and some of them are surprising. Do you know that Roblox has over 1 trillion views? That's more views than there are people on the planet. Over 1 trillion views, and it's done without the church. Also, there's music, millions of views. There's some songs that have 100 million views. And it's music, it's sports, it's important people. It's also the news I saw today, the news of the killing of the 19 children and the 2 teachers in Texas. And so that's telling us that this is where people are. Also, there's gaming. This is where people are. Not that we have to lose our moorings or our anchorage in terms of chasing people, but we have to meet them where they are. We have to do more because we think that we have a monopoly on this thing. We don't. We can very, very easily lose people, lose young people. I remember growing up, the big issue was, well, not growing up, I was grown, but the issue was rap music in church, and it caused a dichotomy. There was hostility towards the Franklin brother, great guy, gifted musician, and there were more old school musicians against it totally. It's like a devilish thing. But we have to come out of our comfort zone. When Jesus was looking for his disciples, he didn't stay in the synagogue and wait till they come around. He went to where they are and he called them. So we have to do the same thing. We need to be aware of trends. And what these trends show us, is that not that we should become Roblox people or do what they do, drop it like it's hot, and games of Dungeons and Dragons and all these other things. But we have to know how human beings today are meeting human needs. Everything that's being done, I don't care what the mechanism is, whether it's rap music, whether it's online shopping, whether it's gaming, whether it's sports, whether it's music online, whatever it is, it's still the same human drives. People will use tools to have their needs met. And the thing about us as people who carry the word, who carry the gospel, we have to understand exactly what's happening in the world. We're supposed to be in the world, but not of it, but we can't shy away from the battlefield. We have to do more. We have to understand human needs. We have to understand exactly what's happening in the world today. We can't shy away from it. I love online ministry. I have one myself. This is a part of it. But I think that the language that we speak, the way we approach, how we deal with what's happening now, we need to align ourselves and go with the flow. When Jesus began to preach, it was something totally new that they didn't want to hear, but it's what people needed. And immediately, people thronged him. The Pharisees were afraid of him, that they would lose their ministry. It's just that human needs have changed to where Israel was more cosmopolitan. They had experienced Greek civilization. They had experienced Egyptian civilization. They had experienced, and then Roman civilization. They were at many crossroads of shopping. The world was changing for them, and there was much more to do. That's why Paul was so effective, because Paul was equipped with his education. He had a cosmopolitan, great education. He was able to speak to people. And it's the same thing that's happening to us now. So Jesus's message was one that was designed for the millennium, And it's still relevant, but the means in which we're carrying it out needs to change. We need to look at where people are headed, and we need to be among the masses. We can't sit back in our buildings and think people need to come. Yes, they will come, but there's nothing wrong with having our worship and our messages aligned to what's happening now. And what's happening now is that people are online, they're gaming, they're in music, Dungeons and Dragons, and Roblox, and we have to find a way so that the church is always relevant and speaking to these lives, or we lose generations. And the way to do it is just become more aware, be able to speak the language, be able to understand what they're doing, and align our messages as to what is happening now. Because we are the salt of the earth. And if we lose our salinity, then we are only fit to be trod underfoot.